It is Ruston Pierce and Evan Pierce, two brothers combined to create the Vol Bros podcast. You can see them, find their website, thevolbros.com. And we've been on their show before and turned into a little bit of anarchy thanks to your faulty electrical work at your house. But Evan and Ruston, you'll be glad to know that the lighting issue at the Sims estate has been fixed. So that bit of comedy that no longer exists. How are we doing tonight, guys?
Well, I asked if I needed to bring my own strobe light, and unfortunately, I'm not equipped with that, so I apologize.
Yeah, we have a strobe going in here. Obviously, it doesn't play well over radio. I didn't think of that, but I did bring a strobe in here to the studio.
Yeah, for those who don't know what we're talking about, we were on their show during the high school football season, and we're going to call it your studio, Justin Sims. The lighting, it was right around Halloween, which was perfect. So obviously we were thinking Michael Myers inspired. That's your favorite, your favorite bad guy of the Halloween films right there. And it turned out to be, I'm sure it's up there, Evan, as far as one of the highly rated programs in Vol Bros history.
It was certainly the funniest.
Weirdly, since that night, no one's really brought it up.
Of course,
which is kind of surprising because we have a lot of viewers, and it's one of the few things that never gets mentioned. So when you all asked us to be on, I told Evan the good news is the expectations are really, really low after Justin's time.
Oh, that's cold.
Cold but true right here on Talk 102.3 for sure. So, well, guys, we wanted to bring you on because, obviously a lot going on in Big Orange Country. But, for those who do not know about, you and the podcast and the website and the store and everything else, a lot going on with you guys. So just kind of talk about just kind of how the idea started to come up with the Vol Bros and kind of where it's taken off from there.
You go ahead,
take it, Evan.
Okay, I will. So we love Tennessee athletics. We love especially Tennessee football. And 2 years ago, November of 2022, was our very first episode. And basically, we just came up with the idea we're going to talk about the game anyway. You want to do it on YouTube and see what it turns into. And thankfully, it's worked out really, really well. We've gotten to have some pretty amazing guests on the show, none better than off the bench Chattanooga guys. And seriously, that was, to this day, it was the funniest episode we've ever had. It was absolutely fantastic, and we loved having you guys. We've been blessed to have some other folks like Cole Kubelik from SEC Network, Jason Swain, Rob Murphy, a former basketball player at Tennessee, Austin Price. Reed Carringer's joined us multiple times. He joined us last night.
Josh Mancuso 3 times.
Yep. So it's been a lot of fun. We've gotten to interview people and talk with people that I would have never have dreamed would have been on our show, and it's been a blast. And we really are appreciative of you guys. Y'all have been such great supporters of us, and we want to support you guys too. And we appreciate all you do for the Chattanooga area high school coverage. And y'all have been a tremendous resource for everybody in this city, and great people to have on our show to let people know. Because, let's be honest, there's been quite a bit of talent coming, especially in football, coming from the Chattanooga area recently. Boo Carter's making waves on campus right now. And so it was great to have you guys on our show this fall to talk about Boo and other prospects from the area.
Well, I will speak highly of y'all's program also. Being an honorary bro is a great honor in itself. And but let's get into Vol talk here with the Vol Bros. I'll just start with Lady Vols talk. I think you're replacing a coach that I think most would agree served her course. She had some highlights and some lowlights. Never finished better than third in the SEC and never got past the Sweet 16. I think would be the most glaring strikes against her there. But you're talking about replacements. I think, people want to talk about the Don Staleys and things. And, what shadow does Pat still cast over the program? Do you see a Kara Lawson? But to me, it's kind of not who, but how much. You the top coaches are making $3 million. You were paying Harper $1 million. You're paying your men's coach $5 million. You're not going to get the top coaches for less than $3 or $5 million, obviously. What do you think, guys? Who's early prospects, or what do the Lady Vols go with? Are they going assistants? Are they finding an established coach? What are the Vols Bros' opinions there?
Ruston, you go ahead, and then I want to mention what you mentioned about the price. You go ahead about your candidates. We may have, he's traveling, so we may have lost him for a second.
What about you, Evan? You go ahead. Do they go outside the family, or do they stick within that coaching tree or players tree from Pat Summitt?
Well, I know Ruston is a big proponent of Westmore. I think he thinks that would be a tremendous hire, and I agree with him. I think he's back with us now. Ruston, you want to talk about who you think would be your top candidates?
Yes. Sorry, did I break up?
A little bit, yes, sir.
So I think Danny White has several things that he's looking at. I think he sent the message to all of All Nation that the Elite Eight is bare minimum the criteria for being the coach of the Lady Vols. So I don't think we're going to see him take chances on up-and-comers. I think he has sent the message that this is definitely going to be a hire who has been there and done that. So I think the most logical first choice is probably Jeff Walls at Louisville. His top recruiter, Samantha Williams, is already on staff at Tennessee, so it'd be easy for him to retain her. Another person that I personally believe, and I believe he's going to be a big target. I don't necessarily see Kara Lawson being in that mix because she really hasn't proven anything at Duke. So I think it's going to be someone who's very proven, someone who can say they've been to the highest levels, has built a program. And I think the other thing that's going to be a big part of this is NIL. If you look last year and the last 2 years, Tennessee lost out on 3 high-level players because of NIL who were originally committed to Tennessee and who chose other schools because they got better offers. So it's going to be really important that not only do they open up the checkbook for the coach, but donors also get on board with the NIL program and make sure that they stop losing the best recruits.
Well, but to Justin's point and to Ruston's point, the first name they both mentioned, I think, is the most important factor here. Danny White has proven repeatedly that he knows what he's doing. He is a phenomenal athletic director. He has proven that he's willing to spend the money to get the person that he knows is the right person for the job. And let's be honest, I mean, there is only one women's basketball program in the country who has never missed the NCAA tournament. Tennessee is the standard. It is the gold standard of women's college basketball. And you can make a case for women's basketball, period. If there is a person who I think we could all be comfortable and confident will find the right coach, it's Danny White. And that's Tennessee's ace in the hole right now.
Yeah, for sure. And transition to the men's side real quick, guys, before we go to our next break here. And we want to thank you guys again. Evan, Ruston, Pierce, the Vol Bros. You can go to thevolbros.com. They have a weekly podcast and a great YouTube page and just a lot of great information if you are a University of Tennessee athletics fan. So obviously the big disappointment, ending in the Elite Eight, but not really surprising, I don't think, just looking at the matchup with Purdue. What could they have done better type thing, or was it pretty much just the hand that was given to them on Selection Sunday, knowing that this was a possibility in the Elite Eight?
Well, I think the NCAA got exactly what they wanted out of the Midwest region. They got all the storylines that they could hope for. Sakai playing his half-brother in the first round, Coach Barnes coaching against Texas in the second round, and the top 2 National Player of the Year candidates facing off in the Elite Eight. So they got what they wanted, and they got a barn burner in the Elite Eight with those 2 guys, both of them scoring 39 and 41 points. But the bottom line is you can't win 5 on 8, and I know people are going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? But you can't win 5 on 8. That's just the reality of it. And Tennessee had to have somebody else step up offensively, and nobody did. And that in the second half, and that was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, when you say they don't step up, we talk about this team overall. I mean, you kind of come in with the Vescovi and JJJ as all SEC caliber, potential caliber guys. Obviously, what ZZ Stop can do defensively and as a point guard, which is very important in college basketball, but just generationally, you bring in a 40-point potential scorer. when does Tennessee have a better chance to get past this kind of, like I was saying earlier, you're one of 4 or 5 teams left in the league that hasn't made it to the Final Four. Obviously, see Alabama go this year, which is an added sting to Vol fans. What's it going to be? What happens to? How long do we expect to go to see? I mean, like I said, you get this level of a team. What's it going to take to get Tennessee to that next level, that Final Four?
I think it all comes down to your draw. I don't think it has anything to do with the actual players on the court. It has to do with who you draw and how you match up with that individual team. If you look at the other night, Zach Edey scored his points. Really, no one else did. Dalton Knecht scored his points. Really, no one else did. The difference in the game was the free throw line. And so, it's hard to say that Tennessee really could have done anything differently because in reality, if you look at the sheer numbers, Tennessee and Purdue were pretty much equal. The only stat that was different between the two teams was the free throw line. And we talked about this the other night. This year, Purdue shot 388 more free throws than their opponents. That was first in the country. I'm not sure you can beat a team that going in, if you play them equally, they're going to shoot 10 to 20 more free throws than you are from the beginning.
And to Rustin's point about it being about matchups, and you're right, Justin. I mean, this seems like the year. When are you going to find another Dalton Knecht? And I guess we'll find out in the transfer portal in the next year or two. But to Rustin's point about it being matchups, if Tennessee had been in any other region, except for maybe UConn's region, you can make a very strong case that they would have been in the Final Four because they've already beaten Alabama twice this year. They've already beaten NC State once this year. So they're certainly a Final Four capable team. And it's just very unfortunate they got matched up in the same region as Purdue.
Yep, for sure. Couldn't have said it better myself, guys. Well, Ruston Pierce, Evan Pierce, the Vol Bros, I want to thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to join us on this Tuesday night and just talk shop, and just glad to be back on the same airwaves, internet waves with you guys. How can people find your content and check out the latest episode of the Vol Bros?
Well, just like was said earlier, thevolbros.com, and then on every social media platform at the Vol Bros. Same thing on YouTube, youtube.com/@thevolbros. And every Thursday and Sunday night at 9:00, we're live. We'll have a lot of clips coming out this week. I've got one coming out tonight, actually, about what we just talked about with Reed Carringer last night with Kelly Harper's firing and who are they going to replace her with. So that'll be coming out tonight. And then there were so many good clips from last night. Like throughout this week, we'll have clips up on YouTube of our top 3 takeaways from this season and the basketball season. So a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of fun. And it's always a blast having 2 guys on the show like Jeff and Justin. They're fantastic.
Could have said it by myself. Checks in the mail, boys. I appreciate it. So, hey, we'll talk. We'll talk soon. Appreciate you taking the time to join us right here on Off the Bench on WGOW, and we'll be in touch. Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
All right. Thanks, guys.